what's our origin for rhomboids? Spinous process, C7 to T5. Okay. And what about our insertion?
It's the vertebral border near the inferior angle.
Between the spine.
Between the spine and the inferior angle. Excellent. So, remember how I said I like to think about things in pairs, right? So we have two muscles that have kind of, for me, what feel like similar attachments, right? So we've got the rhomboids, which attaches on the vertebral border of the scapula between the base of the spine of the scapula and the inferior angle. And then you've got one that attaches on the vertebral border between the base of the spine and the superior angle. Which one is that? Yeah, levator, right? Levator scapula. Okay, good. All right, so rhomboids lies underneath the trapezius. And so we're going to have to kind of utilize our superpowers to feel through the trapezius to the rhomboids. If you don't feel it, don't get too worked up about it. Just do the best you can and try lots of different ones. And this is a great time to really take your time once we mark out where the muscle is, to really take your time and just kind of let your hands, your finger pads just sort of sink and then move across the fibers. And just really take your time and see if you can feel that that quality of tissue, the direction of fibers is different. So we've got our middle traps and our lower traps here, right? And so our lower traps run obliquely like that. Our rhomboids are going to run obliquely in this direction. And then you've got your erector spinae muscles, which are deep even to that, which one runs straight down like this. So you have this whole kind of crisscrossing convergence of fibers. And so that's what you're trying to feel for. What direction do these fibers go in? And so the first thing I'm going to do, since it's not necessarily one that's obvious, is just try to mark out my territory. Just have me have here. You okay like that? Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm going to find. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and find C7, which is super prominent on him, and then I'm going to just literally count down his spinous processes. You can do it this way if you want to. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I like to push up on the spinous process. So I've got 1, 2. Well, okay. So C7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So here's C7 through T5. You're not sensitive enough for me to give you a little red mark there. Okay. So then I'm going to find the base of the spine of his scapula. And I'm going to find the inferior angle. So it's that right there. Like that. Okay? So know how to mark that out. Now, if you have any chance of really feeling the rhomboids, most likely it's going to be at this lower border. You're going to feel a little bit of a bump. All right, so I've marked it out, and remember, I want to palpate. I've marked it out, so first of all, I've marked it out so I know where it is, and I've also just shown my proctor, exam proctor, that I know where it is. Okay, and then I want to palpate across the fibers. So if the fibers run like this, my palpation is going to come across this way. You can maybe just feel a little bit of the border, not much. So just get in there and try to appreciate the way those fibers run. And take your time with it. Okay, so that's my only expectation. Another thing we can do to try to get it to fire, we'll see if Wade's does. Is this your bad shoulder? It's fine. Okay, is have them bring their hand back like this. Can you lift this hand off of your... And so that will get them to fire as well. So you might be able to feel it. You might get upper traps in there, but you can kind of play around with that. See if you can feel that border a little bit better in there. Good. Thanks. Okay. All right. So C7 to T5, vertebral border between the spine and the inferior angle, mark out your space, then physically get yourself in a place where you can properly palpate, perpendicular to the fibers. See if you can sense that the fiber direction is this way, and see if you can feel that lower border. If you can't, that's okay, don't worry about it. Just keep trying. Lots of different people, okay? And if we find somebody that's super palpable, I will draw everyone's attention to them. Okay, great.